Stephen King's It has been the stuff of nightmares for over 30 years, starting with the novel's first publication in 1986, the 1990 television miniseries, the 2017 film adaptation blockbuster, and the soon-to-be-released sequel and finale of this epic tale of terror. At long last, the phobia-inducing story of an alien demon clown that preys on the children of the small town of Derry, Maine, is now a board game from USAopoly.
In It Evil Below, you and up to 6 friends each take the role of one of the members of Derry's so-called Losers Club, a group of kids that have seen the face of true evil and have vowed to stop Pennywise the Clown no matter the cost. On each turn, the roll of the dice will determine where Pennywise strikes next, while also giving the Losers Club a variety of options on how to fight back.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
Join us as we take you through the setup, rules, and playthrough of USAopoly's It Evil Below.
Introducing Pennywise, the dancing clown.
All right, let's take a look at what's in the box. But first, kudos to USAopoly. I love this translucent balloon panel with Pennywise's face shining through. It's already scared off our children a couple times, so good job. That really sets the tone for what this game is going to be all about. So this board represents the small town of Derry, Maine. And we have we have 7 sections of the board representing different parts of town. And then around the outside of the board, we have different areas for game pieces. You'll see on this side, we have something called Pennywise attack cards. We'll cover those in a bit. The totem cards that are used to fight him, and the fight stack, a combination of both. Over here, this section with these 1, 2, and 3 balloons are used for Pennywise weaknesses. Those are how we fight him using the totems we collect. And then we have the Losers Club Strength in this corner. That is the victory track for the players. And then there's also this bar over here, which is the victory track for Pennywise. He can win a few different ways, as we know. But this is his sort of main goal. This will document his kidnapping of the children around town.
So we have character cards, Richie Tozer, and each of these belong respectively to their little area on the board. We have Bill Denbrough, Stan Ertz, Eddie, how do you say his last name? Kazbrak, Mike Hannon, Bev Marsh, of course, and Ben Hascom.
So let's take a note. They each have a color associated with them. So you'll see Ben is gray and Bev has a pink shade to her, and green and blue and so on. So that will determine their starting spaces. And then you'll see other things are color coded as we go throughout the game. We have this lovely set of dice. Let's just set those on the board. The dice come in 7, just like there's 7 spaces on the board and there's 7 members of the Losers Club. There are 7 dice, and each one of those has a color just like the spaces on the board and the characters do. So as we take actions, where those actions can be taken will be determined by what color the particular die is. There are balloons on each die, 1 balloon per die. Those are Pennywise actions. And then for players, we have hands and we have hearts. Each die has 1 balloon, 3 hands, and 2 hearts. The hands and hearts will be used for player actions, and we'll talk about those later. But there you can get a feel for what the dice look like.
For our cards, we have both totem cards and we have fight stack cards.
Pennywise attack.
Pennywise attack goes in the fight stack, and our cards that we're going to be giving actions and things like that will go in the totem stack. So let's show you, this is an attack card, Pennywise, and you have 3 options of what you're going to do, which we will explain. And then we have our totem cards, which have different colors, like this. As you can see, there's gray, green, red. We have yellow, and purple. We have all the colors that correspond with the game board.
So the totem cards Once again, will be color-coded with the same 7 colors as the rest of the board, the same 7 colors as our characters and the dice. The color coding is very important for this game. We also have Pennywise weakness cards. The Pennywise weakness cards go on these spaces on the board here, and they come, just as the board shows 1, 2, and 3 balloons, the weakness cards also come in flavors of 1, 2, and 3 balloons, indicating how difficult they will be to achieve, but also how great the reward will be. By achieving these weaknesses in a fight, by matching the requirements listed on the card, you'll be able to move the Losers Club victory track up on the board. So this is the key to victory for the players right here. A combination of using the totems and matching items that are on the Pennywise weakness cards. All right, just a few more little things. There are a number of tokens in the bag. In the box. There are a number of tokens in the box that have these You'll Float Too written on them, little red balloons. But on the backs of those tokens are either children waiting to be abducted or, well, frankly, another red balloon. But these are called victim tokens, and we'll be placing them all around the board. Each of the 7 spaces has slots for 4 victim tokens, and that will use up all of these. And then Pennywise, on his actions, will be kidnapping victims from these locations. Again, all based on the color that's rolled. We'll get that set up shortly. All right, so also in the box with the 7 characters are the 7 character standees. They come with these plastic parts so you can actually stand them up and move them around on the board. And then there's also a standee for Pennywise, because you have to keep track of what location he's in as he runs around town kidnapping all the children. And finally in the box, we have a set of 4 bicycle tokens. We'll talk about what those do, but if you've seen the movie, you know the characters, they love to ride their bikes around town. It's how they get around town fast. We also have heart tokens that represent the character's bravery. If they run out of bravery, they lose. And then this little token here is your indicator for the Losers Club's strength. So that will go on that part of the board. And that's it. That's everything in the box. Let's wrap this up. What kind of game is this? Cooperative, first of all.
Yes.
Strategic. Mm-hmm. What else would you say about it?
I would say that it's good for, it says 17 and up on the age group, but I think a little bit younger is appropriate as long as they're not afraid.
Yeah.
You have to know your kid, but
That's true. We have a teen that's really into horror movies now, and she played this with us the other night, and it was totally fine.
right.
In fact, there's very little scary imagery in this game at all. I'd say just the fact that Pennywise is all over the place, but it's just Pennywise's face. It's not doing any of his like crazy sharp pointy teeth kind of stuff that you see in the movies. It's really just pictures of him looking like a clown.
Definitely.
So I think that's totally fine. I don't think it's going to scare anybody. But the game is stressful. It's hard.
It's hard
as
and
we
it's
said.
stressful,
I think
right?
we
Maybe
said
that's
that a
why.
couple times, right?
Maybe that's why it's for 17 and up.
Yeah, maybe. And it does
Challenging.
take a lot of strategy, just in terms of planning out your moves, figuring out, are you going to rescue people? Are you going to heal yourself? Are you going to go with someone else? Are you going to fight Pennywise that turn? There's a lot to think about.
Right.
But that said, again, like our teenager handled that totally fine. I think she was ahead of us on some of the turns. She was helping us figure out what to do.
Right. She loved it too.
Yeah, she did.
She loved it.
Yeah, it got the seal of approval. Sorry?
Well, I was just going to say it takes probably an hour to play.
Yeah.
I think.
Not too bad. I wouldn't call it a casual game, but it is very quick setup, which is a big plus and pretty easy to put away. I'd say the biggest thing on cleanup would be you have to separate out the attack cards from the totem cards and just save those in separate stacks for next time. But otherwise, yeah, very quick assembly, very quick disassembly, probably
Not
about
complex.
an hour. Not terribly complex. It's just, knowing those different kinds of actions you can do on every turn. And here's a cool thing that you don't see in a lot of games. This game is for 2 to 7 players. You don't see that a lot. Not a lot of odd numbers in most board games. It's usually 2 to 6 or 2 to 4. But this one goes up to 7. You can have every member of the Losers Club out riding around.
That's how you win.
It couldn't hurt.
The
Well,
seventh person.
On one hand, so if you have 7 people playing this game, strength in numbers, right? And all of those special totem cards will work as long as everybody can collect for a fight. So that's kind of cool. It gives you maybe a little bit better chance of moving your
Definitely.
up the losers club track. But
Splitting up your healing or your damage.
But it does mean a lot less turns per player, because Pennywise is going to keep kidnapping people almost every turn, and you'll have 6 people in between you.
That's okay.
So it could get frustrating. Like you'd be like, oh God, you always roll balloons, and now I'm never going to get a chance to save everybody. I could see that happening. I mean, that almost happened in our house when we played with 4. It's like, oh, you always roll balloons. I heard that once.
Again, 17 and up.
Maybe that's what it's about. It's the maturity level. So, what else can we say about this game?
I recommend it. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. I think if I were to compare this to any other games, it's got a certain adventure element to it, but something about maybe the way the fight stack is put together and the level of strain that's kind of on you at every point to just keep ahead of Pennywise. It feels a little bit like Pandemic to me. So that's an old classic where you're running around, if you don't know it, you're chasing viruses around the world. But again, just sort of the way the setup goes, the way the fight stack works. It reminds me a little bit of Pandemic, plus the stress level. Yeah. Well, what else do you think?
I think I like it. I recommend it. That's what I've said.
All right. As of the point you're seeing this video, It Evil Below is available now. You can click a link below to buy it, or you can check your friendly local gaming store, because I'm sure they have a few copies in stock that they're ready to sell to you. For more information, you can of course visit USAopoly's website, but feel free to leave comments down below. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have about the game with our experiences under our belt. And please, by all means, like the video. Click that like button, click subscribe, and tell us what other games you think we should be talking about on Gamesplaining.
Yes.